that's it. That is the end of my boilering for this year, and mostly because I'm out of wood. This shed here had about 6 cords in it, and then over here under this porch, if you remember, we had another, it was about 7 cords that we had in there, and it's all gone now. Got some stuff in totes that I'm getting ready for next year's, or this year, I don't know what you call it, for the 25-26 season. That'll be wood stove, fireplace, and camping wood. Much smaller than the boiler stuff. So I could probably still run the heat for, you know, maybe another couple weeks. It is surprisingly cool for this time of year here in Northern Illinois. We are at the end of March. It's like March 25th today, and normally it's quite a bit warmer by now, but I'm okay with shutting the heat off in my shop. I'll be leaving to Kentucky for a week and a couple days, and so then no one has to fill the boiler for me while we're gone, and well, there's nothing to put in it anyways. I'm gonna take you guys down to the log yard, and let's take a look at a couple things. Oop. Hold on. Ranger needs a second. Kind of look forward to this time of year because, you know, heating with the boiler is awesome, having a heated shop is awesome, but when it's warm enough to just leave the doors up while you work and not worry about always keeping the heat contained, definitely makes things a little simpler. So most of you guys have probably seen my log yard down here before. It's very small, and I guess it's time to start thinking about what we're gonna do for this coming season for the boiler. It's been a long time since I have run out of wood, I guess. Last year, I was still working off wood that I had cut up the year before. When I ordered the Wolf Ridge splitter, it took about 6 to 8 weeks for it to come in. So while I was waiting, I bucked up like 30 cords of wood, and I had this bin, I mean 8 feet tall all the way out to the end of that retaining wall, probably 100-foot long pile of wood. So there was nowhere to work in here, and we were kind of working off that pile. And as it rains and freeze thaw, snow, all that stuff, the wood begins to deteriorate, the bark falls off. It kind of like grouted in the pile, things settle, even just the wind, and man, it really became a bear to get the rounds off of here. So I want to do something different this year. You can see this pile of logs in the bin, and I had a friend that had some oak that he could give me from work. They brought it by, and the yard was so wet, we just decided to dump it here in the bin. So I've either got to move that out of there and get it into this pile with all of this wood, or just cut it up real quick and deal with it, and then we can begin. But what I'm looking to do, I want to kind of expand my log yard into the woods here a little bit. And it wouldn't take much, just a little clearing. The biggest thing it's going to take is to get all the wood out of the way. So my thought was, if I could process all of this, and this is probably, I don't know, that in here, pretty close to what I need for next year. Might be, you know, 12 cords, something like that. And then we could kind of lay down some runners and make a more usable log yard that isn't always full of logs. Sometimes this gets so crowded here where you come in that I can't even drive through into the log yard. The biggest thing I think I'm gonna change for this year, I'm gonna cut my boiler wood at 20 inches. And the reason for it, one, it's a lot less cutting, it's less splitting. When I stack it in my sheds back there, it's less rows, less chance of it toppling over, less logs that have to go in the boiler. It just seems like everything about it for a boiler probably makes more sense. Now, some of the heavier woods like the oak might have to be split smaller because they're bigger, so jury's out on how advantageous it'll be. But I think just the lack of cutting and everything, we can bang through a pile, well, probably 25% faster, and get our boiler wood done and ready for that year. I'm bringing this up because I can really use your guys' help. I know a lot of you have log yards and do firewood, and some are just generally smart people. Some of you are just smart asses, but that's fine too. In the past, we've bucked all the logs up into rounds, and I push them into this bin with my tractor. If they're really big ones that I can't pick up, I'll get the inverted splitter on my skid steer and break them down, but everything in here should be ready to go to the splitter. And we put the splitter right where these logs are, conveyor, dump trailer, and tractor about where you guys are. So as we fill a trailer, we run it up to the shed, and we kind of stack it as we go. Empty the trailer out. We could do a trailer or two a day when we're going, and it doesn't take very long. I kind of want to this year turn it around, I think, and not even use the trailer most of the time when I split. The reason being, here's my log pile right next to you guys. If I have the splitter here in the conveyor, and I'm gonna buck up, let's say 4 logs, split them right into that bin, I could probably get, you know, the entire year's wood in that bin without stacking any of it. Now, it will put me in a position where I have to do a lot of stacking at once, but from time to time, I have some help with that. And so we have log bucket and material bucket on the tractor, skid steer. We could just scoop up the already split wood into the trailer, run it up there and stack it, even if we kind of did that a little bit at a time. But for me, you know, if I've only got a couple hours that I want to come work and everything's just set up and we're just splitting into the bin, I don't have to get the tractor out, hook up the trailer, bring it out here, run it in there, and then if you don't stack it right away, that your trailer's full of wood and you got to wait to use it until you get it out of there. So I don't know, what do you guys think? I think I'm going to try it this year, because what harm is there? And can always go back the next year, even halfway through the year, stack all the wood and change my mind. But I think I'm going to give that a shot. So how many of you guys have experience cutting the wood a little bigger? Jeremiah, I know I saw you doing 24-inch wood for a customer, and that worked well on the Wolf Ridge, so it'll be no problem for the splitter. I don't think it'll even know the difference. One of the things I'm a little concerned about, and 4 inches probably won't matter, you know, some of these gnarly ones, do you have an easier time getting 16-inch round out of it that's manageable versus a 20 or 22-inch? Does that start to become a problem? I don't think so. Probably I'm overthinking it, because I tend to do that. I don't know. I think that's what I'm going to try. This is not much of a very informative video here, or entertaining, I should say. I really just wanted to come out and do something, and I am going to be leaving for a week here to go work in Kentucky, so time's a little sensitive here. But anyways, I just want to come out and talk to you guys about that and see what you thought about flipping things around and cutting the wood a little longer. I think it'll make for more stable stacks in the shed as well. Stuff's less likely to fall over. I don't know, we'll see. I'm gonna try it. Thanks for watching, guys. Sorry there's not more to this one than that, but we've got some good ones coming up here as soon as I can get my act together. And I think without having to fill the boiler, we can resort to splitting now, and that's probably a little more entertaining anyways. So once again, I'm rambling. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.